Hi guys, welcome to Inside Deals video series. On this first part, we will be covering everything you need to know in order for you to be able to communicate with a target audience. So, first things first, in order for you to be able to start making money online, you need to choose a target audience to which you will be focusing your products and your communications, okay? So, on this first part, we will cover specifically how to choose your niche. So, what is niche? A niche is a special area of demand for a product and or a service. Okay, so where there is a need, there is the chance to fill that need and to eventually start making money out of that niche, okay? Because a niche are a group of people that have similar interests and they are looking for the same things, okay? And this looking for things creates a demand and people create products and or services in order for them to fill this demand, okay? So in order for us to deepen a bit more into this, we will take a look at the demand and supply chart. What this basically says is that demand and supply always act as opposites, okay? So if the market's price is really high, there will be no quantity of demand, okay? But on the other side, if the price is getting higher and higher and I'm charging more for a product or a service, there will be more incentives for us to produce more. So these curves eventually meet in a point, and that point is the equilibrium, okay? You should always be seeking the equilibrium. So okay, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because you always need to consider the term demand in your internet marketing practices, okay? Demand is something that will always be there, okay? And it's closely related to your niche. Okay, so in order for us to select a niche, we need to divide this whole process into two parts, okay? There is a part from niche selection that comes from the inside, and there is a part that comes from the outside, okay? There are two types of factors. So these inside factors, for example, these inside factors, I could identify that there were three main factors, again, that are related to the inside part of choosing a niche. What do I mean by inside? By inside, I mean you, okay? What you like to do, okay? So somewhere between the niche creation, there will be a point that meets both curiosity with passion and skills with passion, okay? So analyzing the first part, curiosity, the niche you will be choosing needs to be a niche that you feel curious for, okay? That you have this drive to look for information and to research about this niche in order for you to be able to learn more about your target audience, okay? So always relate first niche with target audience and try to select a niche that is not boring, okay? A niche that drives you, a niche that you like, okay? And that's where passion comes in, because where there is passion, there will be more effort in order for you to make things work, okay? So if you start, for example, a blog, or you start building a list based out of something that you like, that you are passionate about, and that you are curious about, and you will be able to choose a good niche, and you will be able to take that niche even further, okay? So the third factor here is your skills. If you're good at something, you will of course be driven to do that thing more often, okay? So if you are good at something, you will be able to exploit that something a little more. You will be able to explore into that niche a lot more, okay? So taking these skills into consideration, your skills are what will eventually make you an authority on your niche. Okay, there are many niches, but if there's something that I can tell you, is that you need to choose a niche that you're motivated about, a niche that you will put the amount of time and effort that is necessary in order for you to be able to flawlessly create content and flawlessly communicate with your audience. Okay, so the first insight factors of choosing a niche are mixing curiosity with your passion and your skills. You can always improve your skills, but the passion is something that it's either there or it's not there at all. Okay, so the first tip I can give you is that you take the time to look within, to look inside into what you like to do and into what you will like to put your efforts into. And of course, try and make something that you're good in. Okay, so eventually you will be able to become an authority on that niche. So if you mix these three factors, curiosity with passion and skills, you will be able to create a good niche and choose a good niche. Okay, so outside factors. Number 1, problem solution. Think about your niche and your target audience as a group of people that have a problem. Okay, the connotation of problem isn't always a bad connotation. Okay, problems aren't always bad. So, but what I'm trying to tell you here is that problems are closely related to needs. Okay, and where there is a need, there is the chance to fulfill that need. Okay, so if there's a group of people that have a problem, where there is a problem, there's a solution. So if a group of people have a problem, the solution should be lying around somewhere. Okay, so eventually you will be able to give people what they need and you will be able to solve people's problem. Okay, so make sure and you choose a niche that is problematic, that makes people wonder and ask questions to themselves, and only then you will be able to create the amount of information, to gather the amount of information necessary in order for you to solve that problem in the way that you like to solve it. Okay, so this is the first thing you should choose. You should take into consideration the problem, the need, the solution, and the fulfillment of that need. Okay, so always keep that in mind. Content, of course. You won't be choosing a niche that doesn't have too much information on the web somewhere. Okay, you should choose a niche that has lots and lots of content, and not any kind of content. You can have articles, videos, etc. So this content doesn't need to be created by you, but make sure that there's lots of content about that niche and about that specific problem and need that your target audience will have lying around. Okay, so make sure you research your niche before choosing it, and you make sure that there's a lot amount of content, because if there is no content on your niche, you would need to be a really good person and content creator in order for you to create all the amount of content necessary for you to be able to fulfill someone's need, to solve someone's problem. Okay, so if you just need to know now that if there's content around lying somewhere around, and you can find content relating to the niche that you just chose, you will be on the other side, because you will be able to look at that content and to get inspired and eventually be able to build a network of content and distribute and deliver this content in the way that best suits your needs and your plan to make money online. Okay, so make sure there's a lot of content around. Product research. Well, on the introduction I spoke about what we will be doing here with our blog and our list and everything, and how we will be able to make money out of that. Okay, so if your plan is to make money and you want to make affiliate commissions and that sort of things, you need to research the amount of products that are available to your particular niche. Okay, so no one's telling you that eventually you won't be able to create your own product, because creating your own product should be something that you should be considering, okay? But you should be researching, especially in ClickBank's marketplace and JVZoo and all those affiliate websites. You need to research if there are good products that support your niche, because if there are good products, and I'm talking about PDFs, ebooks, membership sites, etc., audio series or something like that, if there are good products, you will be able to eventually sell those products to your niche, and you will be able to make money out of that. Okay, so if there is absolutely no product, you'll have a harder time trying to make money than if there are good products around. Okay, so make sure there are products relating to your niche. The other thing, profits. You can know immediately if a niche is profitable or not. Okay, so this thing is more related to the supply and demand chart we saw earlier, but that chart is for physical goods. It doesn't really sum up all the benefits that the internet can give someone, okay? Because the costs associated to the internet are really cheaper than the costs associated to creating a physical product, okay? But by profits, I mean that make sure that there's money going around the niche that you are choosing, okay? And of course, if there are products that are related with your niche, there will be a lot of money around. But you can also check if there's a lot of advertising going on in your niche, if there are lots of offers, if there are lots of service, and eventually if there are those things I just mentioned, you will be able to have the chance to profit out of it. Okay, so that's something you should always keep into consideration, the amount of money that your niche is currently circling around. Okay, so make sure you choose a niche that you can tap into and get a piece out of that pie, because if it's a really large niche, regardless of the piece that you take, you will be able to make money online. So if there is money going around your niche, you will be able to get a piece of that money, okay, a piece of that pie. So keep that into consideration. Another thing, I do not always do keyword research when I choose my niche, because sometimes I act by gut instinct, but there are lots of good keyword tools out there. Okay, there are lots of paid keyword tools and free keyword tools. For example, Google AdWords has a really neat external keyword tool, okay, that you can you can enter your keywords and you can see the amount of searches per month and the amount of engagement certain keywords have with the audience, okay? And eventually, if you input a keyword, you will be able to get keyword suggestions and you will see related keywords, okay? And you will be able to get more ideas. So make sure you choose a niche that has lots of keywords associated, okay? Because we will be creating blog posts and we will be creating lots of content that will closely relate to the keywords that you choose, okay? So make sure you do a keyword research and you start taking notes and seeing which keywords you can eventually deepen into, okay, and develop. And also, this is closely related to the market analysis. You need to know how the market you are getting into is. Is the market hot? Is the market cold? Is the market dying, or is the market just being just rising? Okay, how much people are into this market, and all those things you can get on Google AdWords tool. You can get an idea of how many people are searching for certain terms, okay? And if you know how many people are searching for certain terms, you can know the size, the approximate size of the market that you're going to enter, okay? And also, when you get lots of keywords and keywords ideas out of the same keyword, you will notice that there are keywords that aren't that much related to your original keyword, but they are sort of a deviation from your original keyword. Some words change, some synonyms, or maybe even some keywords you didn't consider before. And all this gives way to something that I call niche branching. Because you can start, for in my case, email marketing. I'm gonna build a blog about email marketing, but there are lots of topics that branch from email marketing. Okay, lead capturing, subscriber bonding, email sequences, and eventually maybe paid advertising or something like that, or email swipes or some all that stuff. So if your niche starts branching, it's okay, because you will be able to cover more people and select and cover certain groups of people, smaller groups of people that are considered like sub niches or secondary niches, and they too of course have needs and have problems, and you being an expert on the niche that you choose, you will be able to fill those needs as well of your secondary niches. So this is something that you should consider as well. If your niche has branches, it's okay, it's actually really good, because you will be able to have more freedom in your communications and you will be able to cover more groups of people. But always keep your target audience analyzed. You need to know what they like, what they don't like. You need to know the websites they visit. You need to know what do they buy online. You need to know if they shop by Amazon or they rather buy products from a retailer and get them delivered on their homes. Okay, so the most amount of information you have from your target audience, the easier it will be for you to be able to fill the need that they have. Okay, because if you have information, you know their need, and if you know their need, you know what you can do in order for you to solve the problem they have. Okay, and the last thing we will cover in this video is long-term planning. It's something that I barely spoke about just now, but some niches are rising, some niches are dying. If you see a niche that is dying, but you can give one last shot at it, and you can eventually make money out of it, because if a niche is dying, there are still people that are into that niche. Every day less people, okay, but if you are able to successfully tap into a niche that is dying, you will be able to give CPR to that niche and resuscitate that niche, because maybe the niche is dying because there are no good products out there, or maybe the niche is dying because there are no qualified email marketers that are contacting the people and building lists and reactivating the whole subject, like re-enchantment. I'm talking about here, re-enchanting the audience. Okay, so this is something that you need to consider as well. You need to consider both the short and the long term. If a niche has branches, it probably has lots of vitality in it, okay, and lots of possibility of monetization, because you will be able to select different types of secondary niches within the same niche. So all of this should be in your email strategy, okay, in your marketing strategy. You need to know what you will be doing over the next couple of months, and that's where planning comes into term. So making a summarize, in order for you to be able to start building a list and your blog and all the things that we will be doing on this series, you need to choose a niche, and I suggest that you first take a look inside. Just ask to yourself, what do I need? What do I like? What problems do I have? And is there a way to satisfy the need for something? or not, okay? So ask yourself, what am I good for? What do I really enjoy doing? And another thing that I didn't mention earlier is that if you choose a niche that you actually like and you are good at, you will be able to help people. You will be able to guide people, and this sort of service will come back to you, because you will be able to make lots of money out of it, and you will be genuinely helping people. Okay, so if your aim is to help people, you you won't have any other problems. Okay, because the when the help comes from within, it's a really good way for you to give your skills and give your skills to the audience. Okay, and helping people is a prize by itself. Okay, so my first suggestion is to look within, and when you find that thing that you like, you should look without, and you start doing keyword analysis and checking out the content that is being published on the niche you chose. Okay, you do not have to choose a niche right away. You can choose an interest, or you can choose something that you like, or a sport or an activity, and eventually when you do the content research and the product research and the keyword research, you will be able to select a niche. You will see which people are the ones that are into that sport, or what are the problems that people have regarding that sport. Okay, so I'm gonna go back, and I want you to memorize this definition of niche, because a niche is a special, one second here, a niche is a special area, okay? It means that is a special area is that it's defined. Okay, it's a defined area, it's a narrow piece of the whole market. Okay, and this special area, this defined area, has special needs and defined needs, and eventually there's a demand for products and or services within that very same niche. Okay, within this. So a niche should be specialized, one, and there should be a demand for a product and or service. So if you go within and you ask yourself what you really like to do, and you come up with a list of interests and activities that you like to do and you'd like to help in, you'd have to go through two factors in order to analyze if that interest could be turned into a niche. The first one is the special area, as we said already. If it's a defined area, a defined portion of a market or of a broader thing, it could be eventually become a niche. But what is the niche breaker? What makes a niche is that there's a demand for a product or service. If there's a demand for a product or service, and in all of your content research and your browsing around the internet searching for information about this interest or activity, if you find products and or services that are addressed to your target audience, or the ones you think are your target audience, then immediately that special area can be defined as a niche. Okay, so that's it for now, and on the next video we'll talk about brands. Okay, and what do you need to do in order for you to be able to build a brand, and all the things that building a brand entails. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video and that you are a bit more clear about what a niche is and how to choose niche. Thank you very much.